Hey everyone, Melissa here. This is our 15th anniversary show. Can you believe it? We did it live on our Facebook stream, which is why the audio quality is going to be a little bit different than you're used to. We also just wanted to take a minute at the top of the show to thank you. You who have stuck with us through all these years, or you who have only just found PotterCast now. Whenever and however you got to this feed, thank you for making our lives richer and more interesting for the 15 years we have been producing this show. In a little bit, PotterCast is going to come back refreshed and with more of a focus on other voices than we three, the hosts, which is how it was when we started the show years ago. We're really excited to keep creating, so we just wanted to say up top that if you think you or someone you know would be a great fan feature, or you just want to be on the show, drop us a line at staff@pottercast.com. Tell us about yourself, tell us your house, tell us how your fandom expresses itself. We want to keep bringing other voices into the show because that has always been at the core of PotterCast's mission, and we want to make sure we are serving the fandom, not just the Potter books. We'd also like to thank our patrons for hanging in while we go through all these changes. You can support us at patreon.com/PotterCast, and you should be on the lookout for some cool upgrades to that experience as well. Another way to support PotterCast if you want to is by opening the podcast app you're listening to right now and finding all the shows on the Mischief Media Network, like this one, or like Roll 9 3/4, our Harry Potter themed D&D adventure. Or like A Story Most Queer, which is literally just bite-sized fictional and non-fictional stories for, by, and about queer people every week. Mischief Media makes content that's full of passion and love, just like PotterCast. Alright, I'll shut up, enjoy the show, and again, 15 years, y'all. Thank you.
Welcome to another...
The official podcast of The Leaky Cauldron.
The Leaky Cauldron. The Leaky Cauldron. Do you hear that, Ern? The Leaky Cauldron.
Just go! You're wasting time!
Hello! We're back! PotterCast 15. So here's what's going to happen here on PotterCast 15. We're going to do some talks. We're going to play some games. The gaming part, we would like some of your participation. So if you would like to play a special Potter-themed version of Jackbox Quiplash with us, and you have like your phone with your video camera ready, or and you have Zoom because you're going to need Zoom, you can download it. There's time. Type in the chat the answer to this. Mr. Blank.
Who could that be?
Leah will tell you the link. That's for guest number 1. We're going to pick 3. We're going to have 3 rounds, correct?
An important mister.
Yes. And you could win some lovely merch. Let's tell them about the merch.
What do they win?
They're going to win a PotterCast shirt.
Oh my gosh. Yours? Or do we have extras?
That is not hygienic.
Ow!
Not COVID safe, John.
Not COVID
I guess
safe.
not.
You're not sharing things that were on other bodies at this moment in time.
Oh, gee.
But this is the PotterCast shirt. It says "After all this time" in PotterCast, and
I
it's
love
our
it.
lovely.
Look how cute we are.
That Frankie drew. The coffee, the burrito, and the Pellegrino.
Frankie, how have you been able to keep the size of the characters constant relative to each other over all this time? Is there like a little spec sheet that you know, like precisely like how far up the Pellegrino bottle like the cup goes, and like
no, it's just artist intuition. But if you look, the Pellegrino probably changes the most. And every time I draw the burrito, I have to remember, is the burrito, like, is your face on the tinfoil or the burrito?
It would look scary if it was on the burrito.
If we want to be...
It looked like it would be its clothing. And so, but I didn't think of it that way. Because I think it wanted artificial packaging for everything. Like, Melissa had the cup, I had the glass bottle, and then you did the tinfoil.
If we're being accurate about it, my coffee cup is usually 3 times the size. At least in terms of how much coffee I drink in a day. So I appreciate the dainty look.
Yes. It's a little espresso.
The tricky thing with you, Melissa, is having the camera angle show the coffee. Because sometimes it'll just like on the poster I did for this event, you can't see inside the coffee cup. She's just doing this. And so I almost made coffee flashing.
She's like the carnival barker.
Yeah, she's like the ringmaster. I almost gave you a whip. But then I thought that was aggressive, so I stopped.
It would have been relatively accurate.
Do you remember when the Mogulcasters gave me a whip?
Yeah.
What?
They did. Don't you remember this?
I don't.
Andrew and Ben were at like some fair and they bought a whip because
Oh wow.
it was I guess it was like I might
That's
be
a
controlling
deep pull
y'all
there.
a
Yeah,
little bit,
I don't remember
possibly.
anything about
You were
whips.
just whipping up some votes.
And some
Whipping.
stuff like events and stuff.
Whipping things, whipping it good, I guess. I
I'm
don't
not here
know.
for
What else
girls
is
being embarrassed about that. But okay,
Oh.
so we also have a roll 9 3/4 line
Update?
of merch that you should get
Oh.
on our mischiefmerch.com. But it's September 1st, which means it's the back to Hogwarts, which means we are running a big Fiend Fire sale on mischiefmerch.com.
Fire.
So if you go to mischiefmerch.com/PotterCast, there's all sorts of things that you can get 10% off using the code Sorting Hat.
Oh, wonderful. Is it
Ooh.
sorting
And-
space hat or sorting hat with no space?
When you said sorting space hat, I thought you meant outer space, and I was very
So did I. I was
confused.
like,
That'd
John.
be kind of cool. I want to be sorted in outer space.
No, sorting hat, and that's 10% off additional. Like, there's a lot of stuff marked down as well. So go there. We have so much good stuff on that store. Mischiefmerch.com. So let's find our second contestant for our Quiplash.
Yeah, who wants to play Quiplash? Did anybody remember who Mister was?
I'm guessing they did.
I sure
How
hope
about-
so. Oh, wonderful.
Nice.
Fantastic.
How about dogs with
Mr.
dogs
Frankie.
with what accessory?
Oh,
Nice, nice pull.
God. Oh man,
Dogs with blank.
that's
But
tough
it's a
one.
fashion accessory. That's a hint.
I
That's
love
a
this
tough
voice of
one.
God thing that Lee is doing.
I do
Yeah.
So I remember
Dogs
that was an
with-
early episode.
I mean, it was pretty early. Yeah, it was right. It was
I don't know
after I
if
had
I can
joined, so it wasn't like
remember.
super early, but it was like a year or so into it.
like bow ties.
No,
No.
John, don't give them hints.
I don't remember this one.
You don't
Oh,
remember this, John?
Not this one. I don't remember specifically.
I remember this one in particular because it was one of the first jokes that happened that I think I was a part of. That kind of like the listeners kind of like I heard about. It was like it made me feel like I was part of the podcast. It was like, oh my god, look at me, I'm on the podcast.
So I think we have some answers in there. Leah, do we have a potential?
Does Leah know the correct answer?
God, are you there? That is
it.
Fuzzy hats.
Good job. Who
Good
did
job,
that? Was there a
Fuzzy
lot
Hat.
of yeses on that one or no?
Yes, I'm looking at the chat. There's a lot of them.
Oh, great.
What about the third one? Oh, I got it.
Hmm.
And you might have heard me say this before. They're called blank.
Oh wow, shit. I don't know.
I think John definitely knows this one.
I mean, there's so many things that have so many names in these books.
That is a very good point.
They're called. That's a hint. They're called.
Oh wow, and you're just giving the whole game away. No.
So while we get our third contestant, what's going to happen is you're going to come in and play Quiplash with us, and whether or not you win, we'll give you something for being a pal and being part of this thing. So, 15 years, y'all.
15 years.
Like Frankie, you've been part of it for 11. That's still incredibly significant.
You guys weren't. I didn't listen to you guys for 3 years though. I listened to you guys for like a year and a half.
Well, you were like part of us as a group from like 07.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you guys. It really clicked when you guys stayed at my place when you guys were on tour in 07. And then I joined in February of 08.
Mm.
Oh no, so it's 12 years. I was
Yeah.
wrong. Okay, so it's almost
But anyway, what were you asking?
almost
I
the
totally
whole
forgot
time.
your question.
15 years. What are some of your favorite memories?
I don't know. I loved when we had John and Hank Green on. That was
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
such an awesome. I don't know. It was cool. Like that was just because he's like that was before any of the movies that like Paper Towns and stuff.
It was before. I mean, it was like after they were very known to Harry Potter fans. After Accio Deathly
Yeah.
Hallows, obviously that's like how we found out about them mostly. But it was well before they were this,
Yeah.
And so yeah, I that was a lot of fun. Do you remember that giant opening I made of like 200 of their, this is when we all had spare time, 200 of their like funniest scenes from their videos I squished into like a 2-minute,
What?
into like it was a crazy,
What a project.
just for our YouTube channel. Like,
Oh my
Oh,
lord.
that's right. Because that's John. That's when you
That
animated
was a
some
lot
of the
of fun.
drawings I did too, because
Oh.
we turned them into food items.
That's
we made
true.
one of them a hot dog, and one of them a corn dog, and one of them
Corn
a
dog.
hamburger with no lettuce. I guess lettuce was bad.
no, he eats it. He deconstructs it.
Yeah, but I remember I drew a piece of lettuce that John then made go throw. It was just, that was a fun time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh man. That's crazy.
We have a lot of tours to look back
All the
on.
tours.
Oh my gosh.
I would like to show you all some stuff.
Please.
I have been digging in the memory vaults, and it's really something. And before anybody asks, we don't know how Sue's doing. We assume she's great. We assume she's fine.
We assume
so. LOL, but we absolutely wish her the best as always. And I say that because you're going to see her in some of these photos.
She was the one that guessed fuzzy hats.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of fuzzy hats.
You see that?
Oh.
Yeah.
What does day one or one day mean? Is that one day left until Deathly Hallows?
I think it was. No, we weren't in New York a day before Deathly Hallows.
So was this just something that you had?
No, yeah, it's just probably merch.
Yes, this was after Deathly Hallows. This is when you all came to New York. And then I left it on it was like one of those advent calendars almost.
No, that's right.
And I left it, and then you had Muchka, who unfortunately is no longer with us, and John showing his
the proper amount of respect for Muchka and the how much room you need to give her.
Mushka was a special little gal.
Yeah.
I loved Mushka. She didn't like me, but I loved her.
She didn't like a lot of people.
No, she's a baby.
Hold on, I have another one for you. If I could get it to go. Hold on. I can't get it. Okay, hold on. How about this? Remember our pajama party?
How about that? Aw, that looks like a leaky mug.
That's a leaky mug.
Remember leaky mugs?
That is at Terminus.
Oh my dear.
2008 Terminus. We had a pajama party at midnight that ended in a pillow fight, and I believe I have a photo of the pillow fight in here someplace.
In the background of the other picture was your guys' poster that Heather Campbell did.
Yes.
And she works for Valve now doing comics for Team Fortress 2. I follow her on Twitter and everything. She's such a powerful powerhouse in the art field.
That's so cool. It's been really exciting and inspiring seeing so many people from the Harry Potter fandom go on to do
what they did in the fandom, like now for themselves in a way.
Yeah,
it's really great.
Like you, Frankie.
Like you, Mr. Dude.
Yeah, I guess I draw now they pay me to draw.
I guess they pay me to draw now.
I forget. It's that's very true. But I was in my head. I was like storyboarding. No, I don't. I'm like, I never storyboarded for Harry Potter. But I was looking at it too shallowly.
Do you know? I think we all do what we did when this all started. Now, so like John, you were always a problem solver and teach yourself whatever you need to get to the end of it, which is essentially what you do now. Is you are coding and finding solutions to problems.
Yeah.
I was always some sort of organizer, and that can be applied these days.
Just a little bit.
And so I love looking around at the fandom now and seeing all that, especially now that the fandom is 5 times as important as it once was in terms of
for reasons.
The spirit of Harry Potter alive.
Yeah.
Have you all been feeling, as I have, that the fandom is starting to sort of like, we had a real low point when all that started, and it's not over for sure, and there's a lot of work to do, but it does sort of feel like we're coming, like the spirit's coming back up a little bit.
I think so. Did you see many people sharing like September 1st memes and things today?
Did you see that beautiful thing that Jordan posted?
Yeah, that was pretty.
Go to Jordan Edwards on Twitter. He's Mischiefs and Wiki's creative director, and he made a Hogwarts ticket that says in the gold letters "Trans Lives Matter."
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's widely spread around the fandom today.
Super
John, I want to hear your
cool.
memories. I'm just yapping at you.
Yeah, memories for me. Gosh, I don't know why this is sticking out at me, but we mentioned tours, but like there was the one tour specifically where we had this big white van, and every city that we went to, we had people draw on the windows, and we found some of those pictures here recently, and I would love to show you on the screen right now the picture I'm thinking of, but I completely forgot to have it ready to show you. But
it's when you're kicking the Kiva.
The what now?
Sorry, say which picture this is again.
It's when people were drawing on the windows of the van in every city that we went to, and they were writing little hellos and like, so and so was here and all of these things, and it was just so fun because like by the end of the tour, like the van was completely covered in like actual handwritten notes from people that came out to see the show, which was just
that was 07, right? Or 7. Because I drew on it before I was with you guys.
Yeah, I think so.
That's fun.
Yeah, 7. Yeah, and so many memories from tour. I can't even pick a favorite, but 3 summers in a row, you guys, and it's just crazy because when we were doing it, it never felt like this is the last summer we're doing this. It always just felt like this is what we do now until we didn't. But yeah,
it also
so much
never
fun.
felt like everyone would be doing it now. Like the idea of, I know we talk about this like really old people of the podcasting world, but podcasters would be horrified at the conditions. Like the podcast that tour now, if they did a tour the way we did a tour back in the day, their agents would not have it. Let me tell you,
right?
It was not.
All I know is we were doing tours driving around the country before we owned a phone that had a GPS, map.
The MapQuest printouts.
Like the rental car company had to give us this big clunky device to try to use for GPS, and oh my God, we took some interesting routes that summer for sure.
Okay, so I want to reminisce more, and we will be doing so on future PotterCasts. But we have been talking amongst ourselves about how to kind of revamp and get the show ready for a new world, the post 15 years life. And we've got a couple of fun segments that we're going to start introducing in the next couple of shows, and we're going to have a lot of guests on and kind of go back to the way that PotterCast was in the beginning, where it was a lot of different voices on this show, which we feel is an important way to feature.
Yeah, I mean the fandom is gotten bigger in all of this time, but I feel like it's also gotten more spread out, just because the internet is a very big place, and people don't have like the same single hubs where everything is happening. It's all kind of spread out, and even in the our non-internet world, there's so many things that people can go to in person, like the theme parks and studio tours and all of these things. And suffice to say that it takes actual effort now to kind of keep up with everything that Harry Potter fans are doing around the world. And I think part of what we'd like to do with a little more structured effort is to kind of try to not like reintroduce ourselves, but to kind of dive deeper into all of these other little pockets of fandom that exist, and try to bring more voices, from those little pockets, onto the show, whether that's, people that are, still very active with, fan fiction and fan arts, to like theme park, fandom, to YouTubers and other podcasters. Even there's quite a few more Harry Potter podcasts.
Honestly, Instagrammers. Like there's
Yeah.
whole worlds of fan creation happening on Instagram. It's a whole new, and TikTok.
Yeah. Oh my God, TikTok. There are so many Harry Potter TikTok people. So if you're listening to this show now, thank you. Hello. Wonderful to have you. And if there are other things that you feel like we might not have heard of, or you want us to talk about on the show, that's something that we'd love to hear from you about. If you want to message us, at PotterCast on Twitter or Facebook or all of the places that we'll mention at the end of the show. We would love to hear from you and feature some of these things on the upcoming shows.
And John came up with a new idea for a segment that I'm pretty excited about, and I'm excited to see where this goes, that we're going to do right now, I think.
Oh my golly, we've got quite a few ideas for new segments, but this is one that we were playing with. And are we going to do it right now? Yeah,
before we do that, remember, mischiefmerch.com/PotterCast. Lots of PotterCast and WikiCon related items that you can get for a discount code, using discount code sorting hat. So make sure you do that.
Yeah. Is it sorting space hat or sorting hat without the space?
Sorting hat, just a one word. Have you ever had a discount code that was 2 words?
Sure, it's allowed.
Forget the space is what I'm saying.
Okay, no space.
Don't forget the plus. We should have that on a shirt.
Forget the plus.
I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat are like old time PotterCast fans, like people who have been with us for a very long time. Tell us what you would like to see on a shirt that's like a good PotterCast shirt, or a shirt or merch or whatever. Tweet it at us or put it in the chat, and we'll record the ideas because we've been thinking about a PotterCast line. So let's do it, John.
God help me. I'm so embarrassed. What the fuck is the plus? Like, what was the plus? It was
for the dialing. Because here's why. Here's what the thing that happened with the plus. We were trying to use Skype in a way that Skype was not yet built to be used in 2005. We were trying to have call-in shows when Skype was like 6 months old. I think we broke Skype just like constantly, and we were trying to call Britain. I think to call Jamie Lawrence. And we were trying to call it, and the plus was messing everything up. And then somebody yelled at you to remember the plus, and then you just started. It became your thing, like don't forget the plus. Oh
right, you don't forget the plus.
Yeah,
that's right. Okay, I remember now.
That's where, and then it just, like so many things you say, John, it just became a thing.
Hot dog. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Don't forget the plus. So, all right. So what are we doing? This is a thing. We don't have like an official name for it yet, but the gist of it is we're going to pitch like a spin-off, like Harry Potter spin-off, showcase of the week. I don't know if there'll be one. I don't know if there'll be 2 or 3. I don't know. I don't know if any of them will be good. I don't know if some of them will be good. But
really bad.
The whole point is you got your characters, like Newt and his buddies. That was like the first major Harry Potter spinoff that was actually pursued and made movies out of. But what else could they do it for? It doesn't just need to be one of those little tiny books. It could be things that were never made into little tiny books. So like, who could we spin off? So this is super random, and but the character of this particular segment is, so we're gonna do a spinoff of Bill Weasley.
I thought you were gonna say, I was ready for you to say this is super random, but we're gonna go with Dawlish. And,
no!
And it didn't happen.
We can't lead with Dawlish. We have to build up to Dawlish.
Build a Dawlish.
We have to practice a little bit first.
Okay, so we have to come up with a character spinoff.
For
Bill
if
Weasley.
there was going to be, like, how like The Mandalorian is like, I don't know, maybe 10 episodes or whatever about. Did you watch the show?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Baby Yoda.
This was not a character in like the primary, Star Wars series, but it's in the same universe, presumably. I don't know.
Obviously.
But Bill Weasley, he's in the universe, and we see him a little bit, you know, in Deathly Hallows. We know of him. We know he's the firstborn Weasley kid, but he has one of the best jobs in the wizarding world, I think, that of the ones that we still don't know a heck of a lot about.
Yep.
And he's a curse breaker for Gringotts, and I imagine it's a career that's not exclusively linked to Gringotts, but he explores, you know, in particular, I suppose the ancient world, and tries to find, you know, magical artifacts, things that would be valuable to Gringotts. And he's breaking curses, and it reminds me a lot like Indiana Jones, my actual curse breaking, but you know, just the exploring and like having to like work around all the different traps and things that might be set up to keep people away. And it's a dangerous job. I know that you know, you have to score pretty highly in a lot of things, like arithmancy is one of the ones you have to score really high on your OWLs and things. And yeah, like
so okay, so are we trying to come up with this for like the storyline?
Yeah, like if we had to have a pilot of this show, how would you set it up? Like where would we join Bill?
Okay.
Okay, first off, my one note is we have to recast him. Bill needs to be much hotter.
Significantly.
I don't mean that in a slight, but like it is talked about how Ginny and Bill are supposed to be exceptionally beautiful, and I don't think Bill was. I'd like to see a nice, live, tall, beefy Bill.
Wait, live and beefy?
Yeah, he could be like a surfer build with the muscles. I don't know. I'm just thinking out. He has to be tall. He has to be like well, he doesn't have to be, but he's an Arthur type. You know what I mean? Like him and Ron took after Arthur, while the twins and Charlie took after Molly. So I
definitely imagine Bill a lot more rugged, like a lot more like battle scarred. Even not with like the big scar until he got it, but like, you know, he's been in some scrapes, like the fang earring, and you know, like he's.
But is that where we want to? Is that where we want to pick up our story with him? Like, is he already like he's been doing this for years, or is he just getting into it?
He's a renegade curse breaker. He has big ideas, and nobody in the establishment. Hello, Kitty.
He's gonna walk on the computer and ruin it. This is Bruce, and so I had to pick him up before he knocked over my work computer. Almost in 3 times today. He wants to cuddle. It's not cuddle time, okay? Sorry to interrupt.
So Bill Weasley has big ideas for the curse breaking department, and nobody in the old like establishment. Frankie's drying his hands and handling a cat. This is perfect PotterCast. And nobody in the old establishment wants to do it his way because it's a little bit more dangerous, but there's a lot more risk a lot more reward at the end.
Okay. So like are you saying that like the goblins they have you know, snooped out potential places that they could investigate, and there's like a criteria that they have to meet, and if it's too dangerous they don't send anybody, but Bill's like, no, it's fine, like send me, like I'll be able to.
Or maybe he's like a Nathan Drake character.
Who's Nathan Drake?
From Uncharted.
Oh.
Who's always off in search of the big treasure, and that's why he became a curse breaker. And the goblin working for the goblins and working at Gringotts was like his safety.
Ooh. Oh. I have an idea too.
Okay.
I'm thinking maybe what we do is it's going to be we find him at his highest. You know what I mean? Like he's just got a promotion. He's like the bank's top guy. You know what I mean? Like they want him to do everything. And then the story we see is him falling disillusioned with his career, possibly. Kind of like Indiana Jones in the sense of like, you know, now people like there's that criticism that fact he's stealing artifacts in other cultures to like the whole colonialism aspect of it. And so if you can kind of like tap into that a bit, so like he just kind of becomes disillusioned with his boss, and then he has to like fight Gringotts or whatever and break the curses there. Like that'd be kind of fun because then it
I
would
like
give
it.
him.
Do you
like
think
that.
you could break into Gringotts?
Ooh, that'd be the great thing, Ooh, that's the last episode. And there'd be like an HBO limited series, maybe 10 episodes for the first season, and then I guess he could get in.
So he's fighting against the establishment, but really he's fighting against colonialism.
No. Sorry. What people say about Indiana Jones, the criticism of that. We tap the magical version of that.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Just or just anything. His bosses are actually corrupt. Like they're actually stealing treasure, not actually thinking what he was doing. You know what I mean? Like
he thought he was doing good work.
But
and then
he's been their thief the whole time. Maybe he gets caught by another magical government and he tries to escape, and then he has to realize this whole time, like, oh no, I was on the wrong side of this. Then he has to be a double agent. It's like Alias, but with Bill Weasley.
Alias meets Nathan Drake, meets Indiana Jones without all the baggage. And he's trying to do good stuff. And at the end, he has to break into the most secure part of Gringotts because that's where they're keeping all the stuff they sold because he wants to return it to the cultures that they stole.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
There we go. I like that too. Because then you get and then just from a writing standpoint of view and an acting standpoint of view, it's fun because we'll get to see him literally at top of his game. So we start high and then we fall hard and then he climbs back up out, by the end. And so he can be we even make him, what would his flaw be? Would he be cocky? I don't want him to be cocky. That's too
wouldn't you have to be? Wouldn't you have to be if you were the only person who could break all these?
I would like it to be him more self-righteous in a way that nope, I'm doing this for the greater good. And
so I can't be criticized.
Yeah, more kind of like a aggressive Leslie Knope. You know what I mean? Like a Leslie Knope that's no. You know what I mean?
That is Leslie Knope.
But I know, but I mean, not. She's so nice. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the right adjective, but I guess cocky's fine. But I guess the whole arrogant, but in the sense of his hands is raised, hey, I don't make the rules. I just know how to follow them, and then he has to start breaking the rules. But he doesn't.
Breaking the rules, and making the rules. We have a tagline now.
Yeah,
breaking the curses.
Breaking the curses,
he used to break curses. Now he breaks rules.
If you're a curse breaker, do you think that you also have an overlapping skill set with setting curses?
Yeah, is a curse breaker their version of a hacker?
I don't know. Sort of like that, yeah.
So you'd have to
I feel like it's charms and it's a little bit of dark magic knowledge in that you have to know enough dark magic to safely navigate around it and undo it and just Snape was kind of adept at there's dark magic over here on this thing.
I'd imagine there was probably different, there could be two schools of thought on it. Some people can break curses by literally shattering them, and some people could break curses by pulling the right thread. You know what I mean? There could be, or just
he's definitely
curses.
A pull thread guy. He's definitely a pull thread guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's one moment where it's so satisfying because you watch him not break things and just kind of pull threads and be very, very fine and careful about it. And one time he's just screw it. He just takes a hammer and it's funny. And it's that great, release attention.
That actually could be a great moment. Someone could that could be one of those things where he gets his upper hand on screen that way. That could be his Umbridge and Hermione, I already read the whole book moment. You know what I mean? How he could be doing something delicately and they try to catch him on it and he's perfect. And then he just kind of shatters the room around him, whatever. So they're caught up in the mess that they thought they were going to give him. I don't know.
Setting traps, breaking traps. What are we calling this? Bill Weasley and the what? Bill Weasley curse breaker? Bill Weasley and the something.
Curse breaker is such a cool, phrase, word, thing. Something with curse breakers are
Bill Weasley and the cursed statue. Something.
Wait, Bill Weasley, something cryptic. So at the end you realize we was talking about this the whole time. Bill Weasley and the uncompromising Bill Weasley or something. I don't know, something kind of churlish.
Curse of the. I'm bad at titles.
And the green.
How about this? We should come up with these in our, and then we should have an audience Title.
Oh, tell us. Yeah, give it a title. Fun. Yeah, and then we'll pick the best one.
Oh, great idea.
Give it a title. Best title. We'll announce it on the next podcast. How about damn?
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. What are we thinking?
Does he have like a little sidekick, like magical creature that comes around?
Yes.
Like, is that? I feel like that's
You have to have a merch opportunity, John.
Yeah. Right. So like.
So,
An owl, or is that too on the nose? Like, you don't like the little like pig, like a little tiny.
Needs to
Maybe
be
a
something.
pig. Oh, what if Ron sends him a letter and it stays?
he needs an octopus.
An octopus.
Magical octopus. They undo puzzles.
Oh.
Ooh, is that his Patronus? Maybe.
Oh yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Ooh,
What would be his sidekick?
a squid Patronus. It could do like the ink to help. That's fun. That's cool visual.
Yeah.
What would his little familiar be?
It would have to be something that could get in places. It could be a bow truckle, but I feel like Newt has that.
I don't know why I'm thinking like a cat.
That makes sense.
Because like if like think of like the sort of situations Indiana Jones is like trying to escape from, like you have to be able to be like real quick on your feet or you're gonna get crushed.
Mm-hmm.
Cat. And then at the end of the series, like maybe like season 3, when we need to kind of mix something up a bit, it's revealed that the cat has actually been a witch hiding all along.
Please let them not be in love.
No. It's just a witch hiding.
Okay.
Or a boy. I don't care. I just
said witch. Go very Clark Kent very fast.
Oh no.
All
I
right.
like it.
Well, that's been pitch
a hummingbird. Somebody said in the chat. That is such a good idea.
Ooh.
Pick a lock with the little beak.
Oh, that's genius. I like that.
All right,
and then hummingbirds are elegant, kind of like Floor. So maybe it was like a gift from Floor or something.
Oh.
Or a weasel. We have another
little
idea
raccoon with his little hands.
Mm-hmm. Meerkat kind of thing. A sneaky weasel is that's a good one.
Yeah. A sneaky weasel.
All right, so we're gonna start doing more. I love this. This is fun.
That was really honestly like I kind of want to develop that show now.
Right? One of these days, it's gonna get one of these things we talk about.
Frankie shows up with storyboards.
Yeah,
I could. I mean, hey, if one of you guys are out there and want to produce this, you let me know. I'll get started on some storyboards. You just need to be able to pay me.
There you are.
Do we want to do some Quiplash?
Let's do some Quiplash.
Can we say hello to the noodle?
Quippy.
So what is Quiplash, anyhow?
Okay, so Quiplash is a game. First of all the 3 of us are going to need our phones.
All right.
Thank you.
Before I
messaged you the code in Discord.
Oh, thank you.
That's what I saw pop up.
That was a noodle. Got to go to jackbox.tv and enter the code. Bree has been helping us do this. This is very exciting. Hello, it's middle of the show, Melissa, and this next part we actually had to cut from the audio because it was not really audio friendly. If you've ever played Quiplash before, it's pretty visual. So if you'd like to see what happened on this hilarious part of the show, please go to facebook.com/PotterCast where our video is saved. While you're on your web browser, please make sure you check out mischiefmerch.com, which should be your first stop for all your geeky merch. We've got a ton of cool collections, not just related to the Media Network, but also related to Harry Potter, related to the West Wing, related to Parks and Rec, and a lot more. And we always have PotterCast shirts and other PotterCast merch available. All right, back to the show. That was fun. That was a lot of fun, and we should do that. Just for fun sometimes more because it's not going to translate to the podcast. I think we're going to have to probably cut that out of the podcast because I don't know how it will.
Oh, bummer.
Well, I mean, if you were listening to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I guess we could just
But it'll always be available on our page.
Yeah.
So would you like to do some Q&As from the audience, a couple of those, and then we'll do drums and
Sure. Yeah, a little mailbag.
Mailbag.
Mailbag
mail.
live.
It never fails. It
makes us want to wag our tails.
Something about the mail.
John, do you remember our first recording session?
Oh my God. Yeah, all too well. All too well.
It was a nightmare.
Yeah, it was it was. I don't think it ever made it onto the feed. I don't think that. I think we re-recorded it, didn't we? It was called Cauldron Cast.
It was called Cauldron Cast. So PotterCast was actually, we'd been planning it for like 2 months when it finally hit, because we had originally called it Cauldron Cast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad it's not called that.
So am I. Also, LeakyCon was almost called CauldronCon. Not joking.
Oh.
So much cauldron. Glad we didn't do it.
Well, I mean, I guess it would have been just confusing to people thinking it was like a pipe convention for some people. So cauldron.
Well, we were so careful about everything back then that, like, you know, we thought, oh, we'll pick Cauldron Casts, and then we can actually like have a T-shirt one day. And then they're like, screw it. People aren't gonna look up Cauldron Cast.
But I remember, like, we said to each other one night, it was like, wait a second, why isn't this called PotterCast?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, yeah, of course.
Oh.
Thank God.
All good.
Thank God. You know, because it was supposed to be like the Leaky Cauldron, but news. Like, that was what this was going to be. And instead, for 15 years, we traveled all around the country. We met so many people.
Yeah.
It taught me so much about what can happen when a lot of people are together on one thing. And like, getting out from behind the website and meeting people in person was such a formative thing. And I think it's behind a lot of what we do now.
Definitely.
You know?
Definitely.
So yeah.
Do we have any questions in our little live chat here? If you're watching us live and you have a question or...
Well, I am incredibly excited about the fact that we've got some new energy and excitement around new segments and interviews and things that we're doing on PotterCast. Bree's going to be helping us out more and getting a lot of that kind of organized for us, because unlike a lot of podcasts, this is a fully volunteer thing that we do. It's just for joy, and we want to make sure that it's still fulfilling for everyone listening, so that we are fulfilling our promise of being good shepherds of the fandom. You know, that means different things now than it did 15 years ago, and we're still learning how to swing with that, and how, you know, and how to do it. So we appreciate everybody being, you know, patient with us all these years.
You want to hear more of our ideas for PotterCast segments?
Yeah, do it.
Yes.
Yeah. Here's one off the top of my head. I remember we used to do extendable ears back in the day. But you know, I think the internet has seen a lot of interviews with a lot of like the biggest names and stuff, and there are so many people that have worked you know, either in the movies or in all of the other related you know, Harry Potter property sort of things that have stories to tell. And so we don't have a name for this one yet, but it's basically interviewing people that you definitely know their work, but you probably don't know their name, and they have an interesting story to tell. So that's one. What we're going to do a little rant segment.
Yeah, steal from John Lovett.
Yeah, steal from Lovett. What else?
Wait, what do you mean steal from Lovett?
He does the rant wheel.
Yeah.
I'm unfamiliar with this.
Yes. You're unfamiliar, or you're...
Unfamiliar. I don't know what that is.
It's just a list of topics to rant on, and they spin the wheel. It's not like, you know, we rant all the time. No, let's do it on purpose.
Let's do it intentionally.
Let's do it intentionally.
Oh, yeah. We had a fun one called Harry Potter Dad Jokes, which is just going to be... I don't have any in front of me.
Can it be called Arthur Jokes?
They should be called Arthur Jokes.
Arthur Jokes? That would be good.
Or Arthur Wheezes? No.
Arthur's Wheezes?
Arthur's... Yeah, that goes
Arthur Wheezes.
Arthur Wheezes?
It's too far off the dad joke pun.
Yeah, anyway.
Don't get too complicated. Frankie, your nails look amazing.
I put glitter on them.
I see.
I love glitter.
Me too.
Best thing about coming out was being able to admit that I like glitter so publicly.
Can you see
I love your makeup today, Melissa. Great job. You look so pretty.
Pandemic.
And John's new haircut.
John's got a haircut. We got all fancy. I haven't put on makeup in months. It was very exciting.
Oh, that's
Hey.
so interesting.
Are you ready for an Arthur joke?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Why was Mad-Eye Moody such a bad teacher?
Why?
Bye.
Wait. Because I don't know.
Something about his eye. Why?
Because he couldn't control his pupils.
Oh, that's good. I love that.
What do Death Eaters eat for breakfast?
Well, hold on. Death Eaters for something about eggs being killed or over easy. No. What?
Crucios.
Stupid. Like Cheerios?
Yes.
That's super dumb. I love it.
I like
That
it.
is the point. The point is that they're supposed to be really
Crucios.
bad.
The pupil one was good, though. That's like a riddle.
Yeah.
This is like Ellie in Last of Us.
What happened when Hedwig lost her voice?
Wait.
I got nothing.
What?
She didn't give a hoot.
Because she couldn't. Because she lost her voice. Oh, I love it.
All right, tune in 3 future episodes of PotterCast for more Arthur jokes.
The new and improved PotterCast, everybody.
We got Arthur jokes.
We have a question about what is some of our most embarrassing things that ended up making it into the show. We thought and we hoped it wouldn't. Matt asks this question.
Ooh, embarrassing?
Embarrassing. I have one for the ages, but you all know what it is, I think.
Oh, I don't remember.
Free knows what it is.
I don't remember what it is.
John should know what it is too.
An embarrassing thing that made it into the
John
show?
should know what it is too.
Was it a live show?
No. Why I let this happen, I will never understand.
Oh, is it the thing that where we were singing a song?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, the filks.
The baby is cold outside.
It's terrible.
Oh my God.
Shows you.
That's fine. That's not even on the internet anymore, I don't think.
Okay, John.
Or maybe it is.
What about you guys? Any embarrassing moments you wish wouldn't have gotten in?
None that I can think of off the top of my head. I don't
No,
know.
nothing. Because usually if something's really bad, you're like, hey, cut that. And we cut it.
Yeah, we've been pretty good about that. And so,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some cringy things I've said in the past that I've just forgotten about that now I'd be like, oh my God, Pat Frankie, calm down.
Oh my God.
Same.
Well, yeah, it's, I have not went back and listened to a whole lot of old episodes.
Either.
But we would certainly just...
That's how I go to bed every night.
Turn on the mic and just talk and not thoroughly, vet every opinion that we gave, through, is this correct to say? And I think that, how many hours worth of podcast is there now after?
Oh, 1,000 hours probably.
15 years? Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
But
close to it, 700, 800.
yeah, knock on wood, I haven't heard anything too terrible repeated back to me that I said over these 15 years. But
I am sure with the lens of, with the Overton window having changed in 15 years, when we go back and listen, there's some unconscious biases and unfortunate things that we wouldn't say now. So hopefully there's a little bit of understanding.
I know what I regret doing, I guess, is Frankie Fridays. I hated vlogging. I was terrible
Frankie
at
Fridays, those were so fun.
Frankie Friday! Oh my God, our video series!
Oh, that's definitely one of them then. When I filmed me running around the neighborhood, for some reason, or this, I'm getting into shape, guys. I'm gonna film one of these every week of running laps in my neighborhood. I filmed one video, and for some reason, allowed it to remain on the internet. Like, what in the hell?
I forgot.
The thing is, we have that PotterCast YouTube channel, and none of us have the password to it, and YouTube won't let us into it.
I just got in for the first time in like 6 years.
Oh
I figured
my God.
it out. I got in. I'm so excited. We have like 7,000 subscribers or something on it. We can go to space if we wanted.
I just thought that was ridiculous. All of those vlogs that, man.
I did like the Christmas one. That was fun to do.
The one where we did like 3 episodes with us like running around in New York.
Oh, the Lost
that was
New
fun.
York?
That was
great.
That was for our
what?
That was for our what?
Sorry. That was for our Wild Card Wednesday.
Wild Card.
Oh yeah,
Wednesday. That's right. Melissa Mondays, Susie Tuesday, Wild Card Wednesday, Noe Thursdays, and Frankie Fridays.
Frankie Friday, Wizard Waffling.
Wizard Waffles.
Back when like everybody was making videos, I couldn't be a video person.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's just not me.
Like, how about the fact that like 2020, there's like 1,000 times more content creators every day putting stuff out. Like,
yeah, it's true.
How many more podcasts are on iTunes now than when we started?
Right.
So many.
But it's cool. The podcast space is exciting and interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's another thing that we're going to be doing on the show is we're going to be going around and highlighting things that we like in other Harry Potter podcasts.
Yeah.
And not like stealing their stuff or nothing, but just talking about them. We'll steal a little bit in a friendly kind of way, but no, we'll steal it in that hopefully we can grab 1 or 2 of their hosts and bring them on our show and let them talk about how they came up with whatever it is that we're interested in having.
We have a couple on deck.
Yeah, wonderful. That'll be fun.
Excited about.
It'll be very cool.
Yeah. You got more segments, John?
I could give you another one maybe. And these aren't like all things that we will
do every week.
Right. But some of them I imagine will stick around. Is pitch a fic the same as pitch a? No, what was that? Oh, yeah, pitch a fic. This is cool. A lot of pitching happening, but we've talked about wanting to do more with like fan fiction for like a long time. It comes up every once in a while, and because there's still very active, fanfic writers and readers out there. Harry Potter fan fiction world, and so we want to give some of these people a chance to come on the show and pitch their fic, introduce their story to potentially a new audience, and maybe even give us an opportunity to play act a little bit of it out. I don't know. Any of you listening still read or write perhaps Harry Potter fan fiction? Let us know if you are interested in coming on for this brand new Pitch a Fic segment. I think that would be a fun one.
Is that similar to how? Remember we did the Founders Fountain thing, the radio play?
Yeah, the radio play. How great was that?
That was that's something I should have brought up earlier as one of my favorite memories. That was incredible, and I was looking forward to every new episode that you guys made. Like I was like, I was on the show at that time, but I was just I loved it so much.
That was some of the most complicated production work for a podcast that I think has ever been on the show, and we couldn't have done it without the help of so many people volunteering their time and the production time and the acting, everybody recording their bits. It's really interesting. I will say in 2020 and all of the Zoom collaborations that I've seen, particularly people singing together, has been a real treat, and knowing how difficult it was to try to do anything approaching some of the stuff that I've seen come out this year. Mm-hmm. Just knowing how there is when you're in like a group conference or whatever, we could not right now even sing happy birthday all at once.
I don't think couldn't.
just, and not even them singing it well, just like doing it without somebody being just a little bit off. And you know, all of the little tricks that, you know, people have come up with now to do it properly. I have a lot of respect for a lot of people that are making that kind of collaborative content now. It does take a lot of effort, a lot of work, for sure.
Fountain of Fair Fortune, or what was it? Albus.
Founders Fountain.
Founders Fountain, yeah.
Founders Fountain. I'm thinking of Fountain of Fair Fortune, which is a musical that Lena Gabriel created, which is a whole other thing. Yeah, I would love to, like, there's still a hefty audience on PotterCast. That's very surprising to me, actually, that so many people download it every week. And because, you know, there was so much time where we weren't putting it out. So we want to make sure that we're using that audience to really support other creators and support Harry Potter fandom as it is currently, and not just as it was when we were coming up.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very exciting. So shall we do some drums?
Let's drum it.
We're just gonna everybody listen to drums in your head. We'll put drums under the podcast.
Boopity boop 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 drums.
Boopity boop boop boop. What are you listening to? Reading?
We've been watching a lot of Schitt's Creek.
Ooh!
Oh, I love it so much.
Are you guys? Where are you guys at, John?
I'm done. Where
Most
are you
are
at?
done.
Oh, we finished it. We finished it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
So we can't spoil the audience.
I won't spoil the audience, but I'm going to say something about the last episode that I think was an amazing success of it.
Yeah.
Because like I was very, very impressed with their ability to make that episode feel like any other episode, but still the last episode.
Yeah.
Like, it did not get weighed down by the momentousness of itself. You know what I mean? Like I'm glad it was self-aware enough to realize, just for perpetuity, it's not this huge milking thing. It just made a lot of sense. It was just, the writing of that show is exquisite, and the acting ridiculous, and the representation beautiful and amazing.
It's so good. That's simply the best episode. Is one of the most romantic, maybe the most romantic scene I've ever seen in television history.
I was watching that as I was coming out.
Oh, Frankie.
I was watching that because I watched Schitt's Creek as it aired. You know what I mean?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Just because I love the mom and the dad. Like they're in The Mighty Wind, and that's the mom from Home Alone. Like I've been a fan of them for years, and so I was like, I'll give it a shot, and then I fell in love with the show. And then when I was struggling with my own sexuality, that over those like the really difficult time of it was the season when that one came out, and like seeing that couple like get to be so romantic in themselves on screen was so like, it meant so much to me, even though I didn't know it meant so much to me, because I was still like really suppressing myself and not listening to, like, I was being damaging to myself psychologically and mentally. And this show was just like, it was so nice to be shown and not told. I was like, wow, they did a really good job at showing love on that show.
It made me understand how important it is for these narratives to not be tragic. That a lot of that exists, and that's, you know, that kind of representation can fill a need as well. But that representation isn't necessarily enough, but that the representation that is not rooted in trauma and tragedy is really important.
They just get to be themselves. It's just like, I was just watching, I finally watched Modern Family, because it's on Netflix up here, and I was on a deadline, so I needed to get through some stuff. And I finally watched that show all the way through, and I was just kind of really nice too, like it was just nice that there was a gay couple on that show. And it was just like,
but on that show, they didn't get to really touch really ever, because it was a network television show.
It wasn't it was exactly what you were saying. The other one, it wasn't about them being persecuted.
Right.
It was just that everyone in the show had some sort of problem or ridiculous problem. Sometimes it was about their sexuality, but like me watching the show, I laughed at all the jokes they were saying, and like I'm pretty hypersensitive in some regards, and so I was like, oh well. I was like, they must have some queer writers on that show, or they were just aware enough to write jokes that are inside rather than about. But
I hope they had some queer writers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. Show, and you saw those kids grow up on that show. I had never watched it, so it was weird. Like, and then I went back to episode 1 again, and I'm like, Luke, he was like this big, and
Oh, but Schitt's Creek is maybe some of the best television that like.
Oh yeah, Schitt's Creek.
Has
I was
ever.
really impressed with it.
Yeah, it was wonderful. We have.
Like I hijacked that. I'm sorry.
You're fine, buddy.
Don't take anything.
Okay.
What were you gonna say?
I forgot what we're watching. Oh, we're watching Korra.
We just started rewatching Korra.
I
just
just
for the first
finished
time.
rewatching Korra.
What?
It's almost
Like
like,
2
we've been
weeks
friends
ago.
for a long time.
How
This is shocking
funny.
information.
Yeah. Very good
It's
show.
almost like we all talk all the time.
I love Korra.
We haven't gotten to the part where she's gay yet. We're waiting for it.
Wait a minute, I didn't get to that part.
Sorry,
I didn't
spoiler. She's
spoiled
gay.
about that part. We've never watched the whole thing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
We're on season 2.
Oh
Book
my
2.
Oh, wait. Okay. You guys want me to?
I don't want any
Don't
more
spoil.
spoilers than
Sorry,
that.
sorry,
that's not-
John. I
no,
thought you
but-
knew.
but
The
John-
thing to know about Korra
John.
is that she's gay.
I knew she
You know,
was
it-
the Avatar. It's about where it begins and ends.
John, it's off camera.
Wait, it's all.
Reveal.
So now I'm all excited that she's gonna have a relationship in the show, and she's not gonna have a relationship in the show.
Oh.
That's why I want to make sure you understand. Like it's an off. This, mind you, this was Nickelodeon in 2014, 6
That's
years
fair.
ago.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not fair,
So, like,
but it's under.
And,
Like, I
well, no,
understand
yeah, like it's clear, but never. It's never on screen. Like I
mean-
think it's in the comics,
that makes
and
sense.
then and it's if you know it's there, you're like, oh, okay.
Is it that thing where like the creator of Korra will announce that she's gay like after the whole thing's finished?
You can tell that
Did
they
you
were.
get the joke, Frankie?
No, sorry, because they took it literally because the creators of Korra and Avatar have been in the news lately, and they left the live-action version of Avatar they were on, and so like I thought it was a real question. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, man. I'm
John's
just
just
joking.
doing his thing.
I'm just trolling.
Just trolling. Did you guys hear about them leaving the live-action Avatar?
Yes,
though? That
because
bummed me out so much.
yeah, I am always hesitant about what to believe when those kinds of, I believe them at their word. I take them at their word, but I'm very curious as to how that all happened.
I agree because Netflix is famously known for how easy they are to work with. And so,
Yeah.
like, I have people who I worked on a Netflix show, and like I worked on The Dragon Prince, and that was a creator-led show. Like,
Nice.
and so like I wasn't in high up any of those meetings, but like so I wasn't part of Netflix ever. But like I was on a show that way, and like we've always heard good things. So like, but at the same time, I trust those two, and so like I'm very perplexed and confused and very genuinely curious what's going on.
Well, it's almost 10 o'clock, and you guys know I
Okay.
turn into a pumpkin.
That's true.
I'm an old lady now. I don't know if you're aware. I want to thank you guys for 15 incredible years. My goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Almost just what
We did it, y'all.
friends.
Seriously, it's like this podcast has taught me so much. Seeing the world, meeting all you guys out there, meeting you two especially. Like, I've literally got to go around the world, not around the world, but to different continents because of you two. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, the work we
It's
do together.
Yeah.
it's wonderful. Like, so I'm very grateful for PotterCast as well.
And it's a wonderful place to be with friends.
And we're going on tour.
In COVID, it's gonna be so safe.
Now.
The Bubble Tour 2020. But
It's called
thank
go around your apartment and open your computer in different parts of the house.
there you go. Tours of the apartment. But
What
thank
if
you.
what if we toured? This could work. What if we somehow toured the country via Zoom by like dropping in on like classrooms that are all happening over Zoom anyway? Maybe like an English class or something, like a class about I don't know, online media creation or whatever the reason for it could be, and then
Yeah, like
we jump
Zoom
in
these-
and
yeah.
Sounds a little creepy.
no, it's not creepy. It's not unannounced.
I'm kidding.
We're not Zoom
I like
bombing.
sneaking into the kids'
Yeah.
classes. You guys hear about Harry Potter?
What your kids learning about?
Hey. How you doing, kids?
Let's do a
No, I'm
vocab
kidding.
quiz.
We should do more of that, and that's why I'm excited to keep working in the fandom and building up the fandom with you all. And
There's someone in the chat right now that teaches high school English who volunteers as tribute. See?
All right,
Tell me
Suzanne.
this is not a good idea.
It is a good idea. I just like to give you shit because.
Okay.
Because.
I like it. I like John's crazy ideas.
Suzanne, send us an email at staff@pottercast.com.
That'd be fun.
Please do. So that we can talk about it.
Yeah. I'm
PotterCast,
really curious about like how this is going, and I feel for these kids. And I've got nephews and niece that are in school right now, and it's got to be really hard.
Yeah.
And as people who have been working together primarily from a distance and using tools like Zoom and Google Hangouts.
Yeah, that's true. We've been doing quarantine.
There's a perspective there. There's there's stories to tell. There's ways that this goes better than other times. And
Billy in the chat says we could come talk to his college music students.
Oh, how fun!
Billy, send us an email. staff@pottercast.com. We will happily do that.
That'll be really
I don't know
cool.
what the music students would get from us. Certainly not my singing. I think we have established that does not belong anywhere. I was one of my dearest friends is Anthony, who was in Rent, right? And at the night the movie opened, we were in a car going away from the event, and his family said something about like somehow it got on like Seasons of Love, and his family said something. I said something like I can't sing or something like that, and his family was like, "No, I'm sure that's not true. I'm sure you can't sing." And Anthony just looked at them and was like, "No, you really cannot sing."
I'm gonna have to look this up because I don't remember you being a bad singer, Melissa.
So, well, that's because you've never heard me sing, and there's a reason for that.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I guess it would have. I guess assumed I would have heard you sing over the years.
Why are we giving people so many reasons to look up this old episode?
I'm getting out of here.
That's true.
Well, coming back soon. PotterCast, all new and refreshed, and we can't wait to have some more voices on. And we thank you to Bree for helping us get the Quiplash together tonight. Thank you so much to Leah for running the thing. Y'all want to come in and say hi, say bye?
Yeah, come in, guys. Please. I get to work with these guys all the time. They're wonderful, beautiful people.
Hi, thanks. Sorry, it's
audio stuff.
Dark in my house. What's up? It's creepy.
Lee's got
Where's Bree?
amazing pink hair. She's coming.
Miss Bree.
What?
Can they hear you?
Bree?
Yeah, I guess they can.
We can hear you.
Well, pop in. Let's say hi.
I see us on your wall. Bree's watching us on the TV in the room, so you could see us on the wall. It's really funny.
Oh, there she is.
An awkward position. Just sit up.
It's Dolly.
It's Dolly.
We don't ordinarily get to see Dolly.
Leah and Bree, thank you so much for your help tonight.
Welcome.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, everybody, for coming and being with us after all this time.
And here's Bruce. Say goodbye, Bruce. He's on the cat tree.
Where's Clark?
Clark's right here taking a little nippity nap.
Oh, these giant
Clark.
cats you have.
I have two, and they're beautiful.
They're huge. I don't know how to end these anymore. Oh, I do know how to end it.
I don't know.
Well, until next time, keep twiddling those dials.
Keep each other safe.
Oh
no, missed one.
Oh wait. The next
Becky.
password will be
What?
16 years.
Great.
That was great.
You go, Leah.
Leah, you pick the password.
Safe?
Yep.
Oh.
Bree, you go.
Keep faith.
Yep.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Good night.
Good night.
Go to bed.
Great Scott, no wonder. Look at the time. We've been here nearly 4 hours. Spooky how the time flies when one's having fun.